And welcome back to Electric Bike Mark. On this video I'm going to be riding the Pucky Puppy Poodle, as you see it right there. And what I want to talk about today is, on one hand we have crackdowns on e-bikes, and then on the other hand we have rebates. It's kind of a weird combination here, you know, with crackdowns on one side and rebates on the other. Which is it? Which do you want? So on one hand, as they say, they want the crackdown, on the other are offering e-bike rebates. This policy paradox stems from governments viewing standard e-bikes as clean transit solutions, but treating high-speed, unregulated e-motos as dangerous public hazards. The friction between these two approaches shapes the current e-bike market. Why they offer rebates. Governments incentive e-bikes to reduce urban traffic, lower carbon emissions, and cut down on parking infrastructure. Targeted aid. Active programs like Colorado's e-bike incentives and various city-level vouchers prioritize low-income residents to lower the cost of barrier to car-free commuting. Upfront savings. Most active initiatives focus on point-of-sale discounts, offering buyers anywhere from $300 to over $1,500 off compliant Class 1, 2, or 3 models. Safety ties. To qualify for these financial perks, vehicles are increasingly required to hold official UL battery safety certifications to prevent battery fires. Why are they cracking down? The surge in regulation is driven by the influx of heavy, high-powered electric motorbikes being illegally sold and ridden under the guise of regular bicycles. Going after retailers. Cities like New York are targeting e-commerce marketplaces with cease and desist orders, fining them up to $2,000 per sale for shipping illegal vehicles capable of speeds over 30 to 50 miles per hour. Closing software loopholes. States are passing laws to penalize brands that sell vehicles within hidden software overrides or clippable wires that allow users to unlock dangerous off-road speeds on public streets. New road restrictions. Laws are tightening to keep faster devices off sidewalks, establishing age floors for riders, and pushing high-speed models into the same DMV registration, licensing, and insurance categories as traditional motorcycles. The balanced reality. The crackdown rarely targets everyday commuters riding standard law-abiding pedal assist bikes. Instead, it is a messy legal scramble to regulate out-of-bounds vehicles without stalling clean transportation progress. So let's hop on and talk a little bit about this. I really like the incentive program of rebates. And I hope they continue. I hope there's more. But it is a kind of a weird game that we're playing, it feels like. You know, where on one hand, we've got the laws biting at us, and on the other hand, they want us to get out there and ride e-bikes. I guess we're trying to find a happy ground here for everybody, or that's going to satisfy the majority, which is not easy. But hopefully we come up, not we, they come up with a solution that kind of works for everyone, you know? It can get very frustrating if you're out shopping for an e-bike and you're not sure what you can really even buy. There's so many e-bikes out there. I mean, and by the looks of things, there's going to be more. And the thing is, though, if the laws tighten too much, that's going to deter people who are ready to buy an e-bike from buying an e-bike. So hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. We're still in that kind of phase that's unsettled, I would call it. You know, we're not sure where this is going to level out at. I am riding right now the Pucky Puppy Poodle, and I am in pedal assist 4. And I am riding at around 15, 16 miles an hour. Nice and comfortable. Really nice morning out here today. Ahead of the humidity. There's humidity out here now, but if the temperature is only in the 80s, you don't feel it as much. Got to hold my breath here. Look at all the dust from this guy blowing. So what do you think about it? Have you ever, do you know anyone, or have you ever purchased a bike and had some kind of incentive, like a rebate? I know several states have done it. It's kind of a here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing, though. Let's see, let's go this way. And you got to qualify, obviously. Every state has, like the latest one is Colorado, and I can't remember what the qualifications are, but you have to be within the financial boundary of X amount of dollars a year income, and then there's only so many bikes or so much money that is going to get divvied. So that's always tricky too. I mean, oftentimes people qualify, but they don't get chosen. Either they didn't make it in time there, or they just didn't get picked. But yeah, let me know if you or you know somebody that used some kind of an incentive program to purchase an e-bike. Of course, these e-bikes that you do purchase that way, they have to meet qualifications. And of course, one of them is going to be now the battery situation, and then also class levels. I mentioned earlier class 3, but I'm not sure. It has to be a true class 3, I believe, meaning the throttle cuts off at 20 and you can pedal to 28. So we're going to turn left here. Coast down this hill, basically. There's no sense in pedaling because I can just let the bike do its thing by coasting. Here's another question for you. If you were offered a incentive, a rebate, for a bike, would you, and you weren't going to buy a bike before, would that be enough to entice you to buy one if the incentive was large enough? Of course, you have to qualify. I want to go left here, but there's several cars coming, so I'll have to wait a second. You feel the heat more when you stop, because you're fanning yourself when you're riding. Okay. Now I want to turn right up here, hopefully. There, we made it. Okay. You know, here in my area, I see more traditional cyclists than I do electric. Very few electric on the streets here, but lots of traditional bikes. And hopefully we see more e-bikes over the course of time. It doesn't matter if you're comfortable and good to ride a traditional bike, that's great, but sometimes I think a lot of people don't realize that an e-bike would really help them out. Someone who's unable to ride a traditional bike, and if a two-wheeler doesn't work for you as far as balancing or that, you can always use a trike, and the trike will get you out and into the neighborhood or trails or what have you. Let me know also in the comments if you know of any incentives going on right now for electric bikes in your area. Maybe kind of share it in the comments with others that might live in your state or area, and they may qualify, and that would help them purchase a bike. I'm going to tone it down one here. I'm in pedal assist 4. I'm going to go to pedal assist 3. Pretty quiet morning out here. It is 9:36 right now. All right, let's turn right here. Also, with the incentives too, there's, like I say, there are limits on the bike. Sometimes they have I think they have a list of what bikes or models qualify. if there's incentives going on, like the Colorado one. Okay, this time I'm going to go right. Use my throttle to get me going, and then I can pedal. Since I'm on a faster road, I'm going to back up, put my pedal assist back up to 4. This is one of those roads with no bike lane. Share the road. And we're going at a healthy 16 to 17 miles an hour. Really nice and easy ride. On the Puppy Poodle. This bike has the big 27.5-inch wheels, 2.4 inches wide. So they're big in diameter, but not big in width. They're more of a commuter. This is more of a commuter style bike. Much lighter weight, the narrower tires for sure. And it definitely makes a difference. Now I gotta crank it down because this is a slower road. Alright, well, I just wanted to get out here and talk about incentives and crackdowns. I mean, it's a weird situation where on one hand the crackdowns and on the other the incentives, but I guess, you know, the crackdowns are more for the faster bikes, the e-motos, and the incentives are for the legal bikes. Meaning mostly, I would say class 2. If you want to be really safe and legal, just go with the, stick with the class 2. And don't, if it does have an option for unlocking to class 3 and you don't want to take any chances being illegal, then just leave it in the locked mode. I just showed you a complete ride right now without even going above 20 miles an hour. I didn't even hit 20. And it was fine. Alright, that's going to do it for this video on Electric Bike Mark. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. And if you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to leave a comment on this video or any others that you've seen on the channel, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Once again, thank you for joining me on this video. And until next time, be safe everyone, and keep your wheels on the road. See you later.